What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Pushing Media, and welcome back to a brand new year as well, and a brand new decade. And today, as you can tell, at the bottom, underneath me, I've got no camera because my camera is just completely broke. But yeah, underneath me, we have I'm two owners or one owner and designer.
He's the owner.
Okay, because I'm not quite sure how that runs. I thought you was both owners. So obviously on your left we have Jip, who is the owner of Cosconia, and on the right we have the designs Samarts, the man that does it all, makes all the clothes.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Jip's putting a little face right now. He's a little bit unsure on that one. But of course, before we move forward, quick shout out to Socially Esports as well on the new rebrand as well. It's very clean, but also thank you for powering Pushing Media and continuing these episodes to carry on. But talking about things, Cosconia, my mic's just gone off. There we go. I can hear you again now. So, Jip, how exactly was it founded? Because I know you used to be at Esports, was it?
Yeah, so we started in October 2017, and yeah, we started originally as an esports organization, and then I just wanted to, from what I learned from older organizations that I've been in, and I wanted to improve it, try and improve the community around. I think I did that in the little circle that I was in, and I was able to learn quite a lot from getting into other games and stuff like that. But yeah, around this time last year, we got into clothing with Sam. We didn't really know each other that well then, but and then it's moved on from then. And then we're on our fifth collection now, sixth collection.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say, did you guys know each other before then, or definitely like no?
No, definitely not. I was in. I wouldn't talk to Jefferson on the street, but he was just a guy with some money, so I was like, I'll take it. I'll do your work. Jesus Christ, leave me alone. No, so I got commissioned by Joe to do the first collection. Whilst I was working under Bulldog Esports, I still am. But
that's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met, and that's how we. Well, I wasn't even in Cosconia for the longest time after that. Like, it's only towards the end of this year that I officially became under it instead of just commissioned by.
Yeah, being freelance.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So moving out of the whole esports side and going into obviously like the clothing side and the range of it, was that like more of an easier point to take for you, as in chalking the whole esports things and just focusing on the clothing?
For me, I feel like I'm quite a creative person. Maybe not as good as putting pen to paper and stuff. I just wanted to express like stories and stuff like that through clothing. And I wasn't really finding esports interesting at the time. And it was a nice, easy way to still be in the scene, but kind of do my own thing.
Yeah, I get that. Of course, guys, as well, before we go further, forgot to mention, we are taking questions from the chat as well, so feel free to put anything in the Twitch chat, and the guys will answer it, of course, if they want to. And the first question I did see, I think sort of just touched on it, but it's Jamie Birch saying, do you like miss the esports side of it, of what you done? Or
I miss the people. I miss interacting with 5-6 teams at a time every day.
The stress.
Yeah. Apart from that, I didn't really do much. I'm not gonna lie, I just kind of sat around all day, talked to people, took meetings. Yeah, and I like going to events, but it still doesn't stop me. I went to 3 or 4 last year, even though I wasn't in esports.
We met at Malta.
Yeah, and then the year before, I think I went to 11 maybe around that number. And that's what I like doing. And me and Sam talked about going to the next Insomnia, and then how we're going to be able to, promote our brand while still seeing friends and having a good time.
Yeah, man, I get that. And so has Sam always been the designer? Well, have you always been the designer for Cosconia just from the start of the clothing?
Yeah. Oh, go on. You can talk.
Yeah, so yeah, I did do like the first. I did the designs, but as far as I know, it was it Zinc that did the promo stuff for that?
No, it was he's not around in the scene anymore, but he was called Judge. He used to work under
Yeah,
David and
yeah. So he did the promo for the first drop, but as far as like the first drop and designs onwards from then, yeah, it's basically been me. We've had some help from Tyron as well, so shout out to him. And yeah, we've got a motion designer in now. He animates work I've made, so it's basically all me in terms of the design. But Joe gives his ideas, so we're tight knit. We work together on everything. Like,
and I think it's quite good that we don't live local, but we have like a local point meeting
Yeah.
where we're able to do content or house parties or whatever.
No, I get that. Nick Lethal, Sam, how are you so good at designing, and can you give us a wave?
there's your wave, and class A drugs basically.
That makes you focus.
Yeah.
How long have you been designing for now then?
I'd say properly since I've left college. Yeah, about maybe a year and a half. Well, just up to 2 years. I've actually wanted to put effort into it. Like I had the basics of Photoshop just from doing YouTube thumbnails. But yeah, I'd say it was like a year into college I properly got into it. And so yeah, I can't even remember when I left college. I hated it that much. Like it's such a blur. I think it was last year I left college, maybe. But yeah, like a year and a half to 2 years, I've put proper investment into this.
Awesome, man.
But art all my life. Art all my life. Like that's always been there from the start.
Like the designing.
Well, no,
Yeah.
just art in general. Just like
Yeah.
traditional sketching, comics, like just drawing things from a kid, like cartoons, like making my own Pokemon cards, stuff like that. It's like that's always been. So it's practice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can find a tweet from like what was it, like 2015? You're saying that you drawing anime characters on your wall.
Here we go with this bullshit.
Wait, you're drawing anime characters on your wall?
No, just in my books. But Joe's just a weird guy. So
I'm not a weird guy.
yeah, that's why I learned a lot of how to draw and traditionally like illustrate from anime. So there you go, Joe. Have that.
So drawing it in the book just to confirm, yeah?
Yeah, not on my walls.
Can't wait to get that tweet back up.
Fuck you, man. I deleted it.
Oh.
Yeah, if Nathan Edmonds has one of your tweets, just get rid of it as fast as you can. Like, he probably still has it. So,
Of course, as well, you've just broke 600 followers on Cosconia, so congratulations to you guys as well on that.
Thank you. It's the third time we've
Yeah.
hit 600.
Yeah, it's nothing special now. Like we've had free cakes.
Yeah.
So moving like forward from obviously all the releases you've been doing so far, obviously your latest one that's brought all the hype around is the change.
Yeah, but changes is like a sub little drop for a whole collection. The whole collection is the meaning of life,
Yeah.
which is like kind of our ideologies into what makes a good life, so to say. And it's actually getting those ideas and thinking about like a whole summary and then like putting it on a t-shirt or putting it on a hoodie.
No, I get that. Also, you're quite creative with the color schemes that you guys run as well, which is what stood out to me when I started to see Cosconia like pop up on my timeline and I'm seeing the clothing. The color scheme as well is something that you guys I think favor highly in because it's not dull. Do you know what I mean? It's you attack the bright colors and you attack like the different color schemes of like a white t-shirt with a luminous, as I'm looking at now, your 4/4 plus 2/2/2, like your phantoms and etc. You've got named here and your spectrals with the color schemes to what you have like to a grey shirt. You've got like your purple, blue, and pink, and it works well, which you actually wouldn't think it would, but it does, and it's clean as hell. So like in terms of color scheming and stuff, how do you guys like sort of prepare or make a design as in that?
Well, I don't know if someone's talking about the design, and then I can talk about the printing kind of side, just because there's like two different steps to it.
So yeah. So I don't know. What's the question like?
So like when making these new releases or the new apparels, what's the creativeness behind your mind that does it? So example for the change, your 4/4 plus 2/2/2, the rocket ship ones you had as well. Like, what is your design and mind going into it?
Well, I could probably put it down more to Joe in terms of talking about the side where it comes to the space collection, because I wasn't fully under the brand at that point. But with Retro Devil, I originally designed that just for me, because that was always like I've literally have it tattooed on me. Like it's just I like that sort of stuff. So I wanted to put it on a T-shirt or like just merch in general or apparel, whatever you'd like to call it. But
Yeah.
then I developed it more, and I took inspiration a lot from like old retro video covers, like VHSs, like the really old videos that you'd have. And I looked at the color schemes, the 80s color schemes, and that was just my mind behind that. I wanted to make something dark, which, you know, the numbers have reference to the devil, but you put neon colors on it, and it's like, it's sort of like whenever you see a show with 80s nostalgia, it's like you sort of forget the bad stuff that happened. Like you don't think of the bright, colorful stuff. So that's where my ideas for the color scheme for such a dark meaning behind that drop came. But with changes like the seasons, like there's so much opportunity for color in that. So we picked some colors that looked good with the seasons. Like we got pink, blue,
Yeah, and what worked
orange.
as well with like the products that we was actually putting them on as
Yeah.
well, and so that it just ties in, and you know you can wear it on the street and stuff like that, and you can kind of tune it to an outfit rather than just be like a single piece that that's kind of gonna stick in your closet for a while.
Yeah, and I think that really favours you as well, because obviously within esports as well, if you are to stay in esports, a lot of esports organisations are heavy based on just the brand, like the item with the name, and it's esports related, if you know what I mean. So obviously the stuff that you guys have, as you said, definitely you can just wear it to, you know, going out or a normal casual thing as well. In terms of change, who's obviously that was your idea, Jip, I'm guessing, to come up with
Yeah,
that.
well, I kind of come up with more of a meaning behind it than like the actual design. That's what Sam comes up with. Is like I give him a few pointers, like
Yeah.
oh, it's got to relate to seasons. I kind of like the comic book style. Uh, like list off a few points, and then Sam can kind of work with that, and you know, obviously create an image out of my mind.
So what
Yeah,
made
like
you go on,
oh,
sorry.
sorry.
No, carry on.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I was just saying, like, he'll give me the ideas, and then I'll try and translate that to something you could wear. I try and take into considerations, because in our circle that work behind Cosconia, we've got like very different styles in terms of clothing. So I try and figure out what we would all wear, because we all have different like what like you know, our like safety zones for clothing. So I tried
Yeah.
to make it something that we could all wear, and by doing that, it's more generally wearable, like more generally consumable for more people. So I like it can get dangerous when you add too many bright colors in. So we try and not go overboard, but also try and, you know, tone it into a nice,
Yeah,
like with the front we have the nice stitching. It's nice and small. On the back you got the main print. We try to have it like not too much in your face, but also wearable and consumable for just a larger audience. So yeah, I take his ideas, and then I just make them easier to understand in a way, like
Yeah.
in terms of on clothing.
How stressful is it to get the final product?
it's not so stressful for Sam, but it's definitely a stress for me, just because I've got to deal with the back end kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like deals with who's going to be printing our products, and what the products are actually going to be on, the costs and stuff like that, which can get stressful. For the with the Retro Devil, like talking about that,
Yeah.
our original like supplier, left us like in the waiting for like a month and a half, to find out he can't even print the product. So I had to refund like 12 orders or something like that, which is
Oh
I
yeah.
know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot for a small brand. Um, so with that, and then with changes, kind of same thing again with a different supplier, and then so we got all the stuff printed like in a day. Like ordered the hoodies, got the orders in, and then I sent them back out to be printed. Which was definitely stressful because I had like 3 photo shoots on that same
Yeah.
weekend. But apart from that, it's a nice easy. It's nice and comfortable now that like we've dropped stuff and we can like kind of slowly work on the next project.
Have you got any hints that you can give towards the next project, or?
We've kind of released on our Twitter. Like I said, this is a whole. This is like a sub drop to the whole collection. So
Yeah.
Changes is one, and then the rest is the meaning of life. And we've got two more. We was originally gonna have 5, but we've got 2 more, which will be it's called Fun, and then Afterlife. But we've only kind of shown bits and bobs on our social media.
I get that. So going all the way back to the start, what was it that made you want to do this?
I thought I could be better than other people. An egotistical thing.
100%. I get it.
Just because I see, like I said earlier in the podcast, I could see how people were running stuff, and I was like, I can do better. And yeah, that was kind of it. It was just like I can do better. I can try and change the community. You know that I don't think that really happened to as much as I wanted it in my head, but I feel like I
Yeah.
made a little bit of an impact.
No, but I get it. 100%. Obviously, I thought I froze then, Jesus. Oh, no more issues. So, have you been involved with clothing before, or is this completely new to you?
For me, I definitely meeting Sam, and then when I was in college, because I was the kid that wore the same pair of trousers every day, like all week, and then like, had like polo shirts and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like it definitely wasn't it, but like meeting more fashionable people has like definitely got me more interested into streetwear and definitely like putting myself out there a little bit more, like with what I wear and stuff. Obviously, my style's like quite colourful,
Yeah.
compared to like where Sam's more like tech wear and like darker colours. Um, but apart from that, but I designed when Cosconia was an esport brand, I designed the jerseys to how I wanted them, and then we had some stuff that was never announced. Like we had like some streamer collections, like for the content creators that was in the brand at the time, and then like that hoodie there.
Yeah.
Sam wanted to see it the other day, but I designed. Well, I got someone else to design it, but it was my idea.
Yeah. So before, like, with the esports as well, was that like your first touch of apparel, and obviously going into clothing?
Yeah, definitely. And I was and again, it's kind of egotistical thing, but I've seen what everybody else was kind of putting out, and I was like, I think I can do better.
I mean, it's definitely working. You guys have skyrocketed pretty fastly. So
Thank you.
it's
Yeah,
going good so far.
that's definitely all down to Sam, and kind of getting Sam when he also wanted to start getting into apparel and stuff like that. So it was kind of a perfect timing.
Yeah, that brings us to our next question to you, Sam. Is this obviously the sort of first line of apparel you've had to start working with, as in designing and stuff? Because usually I'm pretty sure you just do like organizations, the Twitter stuff and stuff like that, and obviously what else you do on the side. But is this like your first sort of touch of apparel as well?
I'd say it's the first I've seen produced like so consistently.
Yeah.
I had done a few commissions for like Bulldog and stuff, but at that time I didn't really know much about the right way to set up apparel design, so we couldn't use it, and it was like too hard to recreate in the actual way. So I had experience making apparel, but yeah, this is my first like apparel line to be consistent from that point on, and it's definitely helped me. I did another thing with Horace, but that I think Horace fell through, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But I did another line. I did an apparel line for them. But yeah, I've done quite a bit of apparel at this point. But like Cosconia is probably the most I've been invested in. Yeah, like I'd done a bit of fashion in college because you just had to do that with the course I'd done.
Yeah.
Like that was just like on the side, like you had to do fashion and photography as well as like traditional art. So I'd learned a bit about that, and I think from that point onwards I probably wanted to make apparel. But I think I prefer apparel to social media design mainly, because apparel is something that like I constantly think about. I do really enjoy social media design, but apparel is like it's like where my like passion's at. So yeah. That's where I'm looking to drive most of my focus, like for 2020 onwards.
Yeah, I get it. Moving on from the starting of Cosconia as well, is there any point that you get like almost a full stop on it, Jip, as in you've been stuck or you've had like I don't know the word for it, like a sort of dry sort of patch in your mind with the designs and obviously trying to think of new clothing ideas and what you can release? Is there always like a dry patch or is it just constantly flowing with you?
To be fair, like I thought you was going to talk about the esports side then, but but with clothing, I think we've been good. Last year I wanted something out at least once every 3 months, and we was able to achieve that pretty easily. And it was stuff that I would wear and I enjoyed. It wasn't just filler sort of clothing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But no, and then with this year, we've basically got 2020 kind of sorted already. With
For the
like
whole year?
yeah, we haven't got designs and stuff, but we've
Yeah,
kind of
but
got
you
a
got the
plan
plans.
of what we want to do and where we want to go with stuff.
Yeah, I'd say so. Like we did have that one point where we said like the Retro Devil sort of didn't get produced properly, the
Yeah.
444 collection. And I remember like Joe did get demotivated by that like a lot.
Yeah, it's
That
just
ne-
like kind of a stress out kind of thing, like like
So what
that.
happened
Yeah.
there?
It was just that our supplier couldn't print the product after saying they could, and we waited around like a month and a half just
Is that when you had
sitting
to
there.
refund the orders?
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of those people came back either, which like bummed me out because it was originally just going to be my thing, and then we made it Cosconia's thing. We got really good reception to that because from before that point we were doing black and white stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At this point we had color, we had like higher quality T-shirts, higher quality materials. The whole production of Cosconia it just in general was just really peaking,
100%.
and then we had to completely like just drop just completely stop everything and apologize to everyone. And yeah, it was a bummer, but yeah, I'd say that's when you've been demotivated the most. And but we came back from that, and whoever bought Retro Devil, like we still thank you because coming back after that appalling release that was hard, but
and we're still
we came
getting
back from
orders
that.
for that product now. Like I had one.
Yeah.
Well, I think I've had two in the past couple of days.
Yeah, I think you had Jamie and Ollie.
And someone else as well. Yeah.
Oh, sick. Okay, good. Cha-ching.
I suppose it's sort of hard on you guys when stuff like that happens because it's easy explainable, but it just doesn't look good on you guys at the same time. It's easy to say that a supplier fell through or order fell through, but to the people looking, it's not the supplier's fault. It's your guys' fault, which is obviously stressful for you guys as well, especially when that stuff isn't getting produced. And obviously, you're putting your money towards it and you're promoting it, and then that just happens. So I can imagine. I can't even blame you for even getting demotivated by that. But the comeback, it looks good.
Yeah, like we decided. But I was just going to say about the logo. I was just going to be like we redid the logo for Cosconia after that. We just it was such a crucial time for us to build our credibility, and I think we're doing that now. We're building our credibility up like way better than before with the new logo. Like I sort of had to tell Joe like we have to do something to get you out of your esports route in a way, like not to discredit his esports route because I don't want him to have that sort of turning back on the people that like helped you get to where you started. But I was saying like we need a refresh on everything.
Yeah.
Like re-release the collection, new logo, and the logo, like the tweet on that did really well. So
yeah, I think it's like our third highest tweet,
yeah.
out of everything.
So for the new logo, explain that to me.
Well, me and Sam were talking about it for a long time, and I kind of wanted to go. I don't know if you know the brand, the Hundreds.
No.
Yeah, but they're a streetwear brand in LA, and basically they have like 5 or 6 different variations of their logo. So it's like really easy to work with on clothing and stuff like that. Just because of the different variations, like they have like a little character of a bomb They have like a lightning logo and like a text logo and stuff like that. And we wanted to kind of incorporate that with ours. So we would be able to be a bit more flexible with our clothing. And then obviously, for for like the change and getting more into clothing and stuff like that, I think it was a bit crucial, like Sam said.
Mm-hmm. Get that, and also you're not just doing the clothing as well. You have started the content.
Yeah.
I've seen that tweet of the photo of the content.
The cringy content.
So what's going on with the content? Obviously moving forward with that for 2020.
I feel like I'm talk. I kind of want to let Sam talk. Like I could.
Can Sam share on this or?
Just give me the brand now, Joe. Like I'm doing everything for you.
Bro, I'm trying to
So boring.
let you because I feel like I'm kind of taking up.
No, it's good. So yeah, we know it. Like if we put out a cringy like sketch, we know it's cringy. Like we all, that's our comedy around each other. It's just really cringe comedy. We're self-aware of it, but if it can get attention, like yeah, like we may as well go to TikTok next. Like just really push the boat out on cringe. But yeah, so we thought like just do a podcast. Just I don't know to sort of a Shane Dawson documentary type, the sort of like problems we go on behind, like behind the scenes, because if people do pay attention to the problems we had, the first drops of a lot of orgs could skyrocket by the end of 2020 because we have gone through a lot with like making sure things are good at this point. We're proud of every drop we've put out, but I mean, if people can start at the point we're at now, just how good would that be for the standard of apparel?
And I feel like, especially us being in the esports scene, a lot of esports people don't see that because they work with companies like Games Apparel and stuff like that, or Armor, so they don't really see the production. They just see kind of the end product where we're doing like each individual step, to kind of work it and make it our own product. So we're able to look after everything, look after the quality, and what's happening with it, and like even small things like being able to make changes on a website or stuff like that. It's nice that we have that sort of control.
Can I put links in? There we go, guys. I've just put their Cosconia YouTube in the Twitch chat, so go give that a little subscribe, and you can enjoy the cringeness with those guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
So, what is the end game for both of you individually and as a brand together?
You go first, Sam.
Well, like I remember talking to Joe about it a couple like days ago, but eventually I feel like we're gonna sort of outgrow being the middleman in a way of like taking like ordering products from one place, getting it to us, taking our product, giving it to someone else. I feel like I'd love to be at that point where I can be the creative director with other people, and we have a group of artists making things, and then Jip could just go down to the warehouse, put that into production, have that printed by properly paid people, not children, okay? Properly paid workers, and then we could, just do it all from ourselves. Not have a middleman. Have it as a solid brand.
Yeah.
Be in shops. Like I really want us to be in shops, particularly skate shops. We want to be in a streetwear. We want to be in the heart of streetwear. Like we definitely want to be in actual skate shops or just shops in general. And like I'm not looking at like Asda Morrison sort of like clothes. I want us to be just a recognized brand, like just within like teenagers upwards to adults, that sort of thing. Like obviously, if I name dropped a bunch of like big streetwear brands, it kind of sound cringy. It just sound like a kid's dream. But we do want to push it. Like we're not. This isn't a stepping stone for another brand or anything like that. We want to take this with us to the top until we have our own warehouse, our own production, our own creative team. So yeah, we haven't got small wishes. Like I've definitely got big hopes for the brand.
Yeah.
Mine's kind of the same thing. But I kind of like the content kind of side of things, and I feel like Sam, like you probably don't see it, like just because we like sitting talking, but like when we're together, and same as Ollie, our motion guy, those two have like really big personalities, and I want to show that, and that's how I want to kind of build the brand, through content, and trying to be able to gauge an audience, so that we're able to create a bigger brand. So we're able to do things like Sam wants to do, or other people within the team wants to do, and at the same time get our name and get our story out there. With what I said earlier, like each drop kind of has a meaning to me, or to other people, depending on whose drop it is. So I like to get the story out.
The people behind Cosconia that work with you as well, I'm sure that people aren't all aware who those guys are. Who exactly are they?
So it's Sam, and then Ollie, as we talked about earlier.
And what does Ollie do?
Sam and Ollie
Video production, I would say,
Yeah.
like video production and animation.
Yeah,
He's like like, and we've seen a big rise in attention to our Twitter and Instagrams just from having motion design introduced.
Yeah.
Like, it's super helpful for our advertisements. So
and it's more engaging in it. Like you're like, ooh, a little video. Let me watch that.
yeah. And
And
that's, I think it's
I'm
just
sorry.
Tyron really. Like, sometimes he helps us.
Yeah,
Like,
on
if
3D
we
work.
commission him for 3D work, like Tyron he made, that's it. That's really all there is. Jack, the photographer.
Yeah, well, Jack's freelance, but we always go to him every time. He's probably the best esports photographer in the UK. That's my opinion, but
Yeah.
I feel like he's definitely the best.
And then we just have models like that help us. They're just friends, the models, people who model our clothes.
But that's what I like doing. I always like working with friends. So with this drop, Tyron come down, Nathan come down to see me. We got some photos together, and then I was able to work with some other friends when I was working with Jack, on that, which is good. I always like to get my friends involved. And, it's just like a day out and spend time with friends, get food, whatever.
Yeah. So it's definitely like a tight knit group as well behind the scenes. It's not like this person doing that, a massive, large, frustrating operation.
No, I probably couldn't work with. I've already had enough of these two already, as it is.
Yeah,
Defo no more.
If we could replace Joe, we would.
If we could replace Sam, we would. But,
You can't.
But yeah.
You can't. I'm sorry.
Jamie put in the chat, I'm guessing this is to what you said, Sam. Would be great to see the whole process happen in front of you. The baking and everything.
That's actually interesting because that's what we have a Discord now where we can talk ideas just more freely because Twitter's impossible to run a company with. Like,
Yeah.
it's really hard like to communicate on that. So we constantly put content ideas in, and one of them for our new drop, because I know how I made it, so I can show how I made it in each stage, and then we can show the photography process. And as I tweeted out the other day, Joe is always testing our products like as they're made, so we could show a clip of him going to the factory or wherever he goes to show that being printed. And when I saw the 444 stuff getting printed, that was really, really cool to see. So I can imagine that would be super fun for like an audience to look at. And I was thinking for our next drop, obviously it's our big drop, the meaning of life, but we're doing it in like sections.
Yeah.
Because we figured that helps with promoting. You know, if you have too much variety, you're going to make like less sales, and people are going to have too much choice, and it's going to be, it's going to look too crazy, and then But we want to put that out. We want to. I do want to show the production of it, because again, it's one of those things that I think will help the rest of the community. The community will benefit from it.
Yeah,
They'll benefit from seeing it.
I think that's what we've been trying to do as well, is kind of create and show people, that it can be more than just a logo on a t-shirt. And it is difficult, but it's not that difficult once you make the first couple of baby steps.
Yeah. Becomes just sort of a second nature at that point. You know what you're doing, you know where to go, etc.
Yeah, and you can kind of see that with us and for our collections. Our first ones was small, simple designs, and then just on t-shirts. Then we was able to introduce more complex designs, and then working on hoodies, sweatshirt, and stuff like that. Because that's a whole another deal, and like printing's different on that.
Yeah.
And then we was able to introduce color, more higher quality tees, higher quality hoodies and stuff like that. And we've definitely seen an increase, whether that's in sales or engagements, and more people are starting to keep an eye on the brand. And a lot of other esports brands, whether that's an organization or even content creators, can put in and see how much can benefit out of whether that's money or creating something that you enjoy.
Get it? 100%. Obviously, for you, it's more enjoyable that way as well. When you're seeing the reception that you guys have had so far, people are enjoying it, people are buying it, etc. Obviously, that feeling must be unmatched as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just sent out the first load of orders for the changes that we've got, so that should be coming in the next couple of days when I can send out. And then I just love seeing it on social media, people wearing it. People would be like, oh,
Yeah.
I got the product, it looks well, hopefully they say it looks sick. And stuff like that. It definitely makes me happy that people can like something that I've done and I put in a lot of time and effort into.
Yeah. Is there any sort of clothing that you haven't done yet that you guys would venture into? So, bottoms or etc.
Ollie really wants tracksuit bottoms for some reason.
Is that
Oh,
something that you
it's-
guys or?
Yeah, like I think everyone who knows me probably think I'm attached to my cargo trousers at this point, which I love cargo trousers. Like they're just my thing. I really want us to do something with that, but also at the same time, thanks to just working closely with Joe, we also know what's possible. And for the prices of some of these things, we know no one in our community. We don't have the credibility in a way to sell some of the prices that these things would cost to produce. So
Just without being profitable as well.
yeah, like we'd have to make it profitable. We'd have to order it in bulk so we could sell to an audience. But at the same time, if we do that, we're gonna have to raise the prices on stuff. And I think we don't have that sort of credibility yet. Like we can do it, we can put our money into it. But I think there's a difference between learning from each drop and just losing money for the sake of proving
Yeah.
that you put effort into it, because we do put effort into it, but we also know our boundaries. But I think we can definitely do socks next. We have 2 hats releasing. They're the same design, just one's black with white embroidery, one's white with black embroidery.
Yeah.
And that's got our little new mascot sort of guy, Sticks the Ghost,
Sticks.
and he's going to be he's like a teaser to. I think we're releasing. Yeah, we're releasing. Can I say the thing about the long sleeve?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah, go for it.
so our
Well, it's a
next
bit
thing
late
is
now,
going to
isn't
be.
it?
You have now. You've just said exactly what it is.
Well, what part of the drop is going to be? So it's going to be for the life after death drop for Cosconia, and that'll be after changes, and that's going to be on a long sleeve, and we've never done long sleeve, so that's going to be
Yeah.
something new. But with that, we've got the hats releasing. We've also got special stickers that come with either the hat or the long sleeve.
Yeah.
And these stickers are a cool little like exploration into the meaning of the drop again. Like we've put a lot of Easter eggs, like little like secrets and meaning behind this drop, this next design. So I think it's really cool. No bias at all, I promise. But yeah, socks could go with that. Joggers probably like sweatpants. Like we could probably put that with that. We can put the designs on just about anything. It's a case of then we have to order every single colorway that we could
Yeah.
sell in a bulk. And like if we only sell, let's say, 1 pair of green socks, but 5 pairs of the pink socks, then we're left with 4 pairs of green socks that no one's buying, and we've wasted money because it doesn't matter about the profit on the sets of
The
pink
one
socks we
sock,
sold,
yeah.
because the profit's still lost on the other socks. So we can't. We could put this on sweatshirts. We could put this on hoodies. We could put this on normal t-shirts. We could put this on anything, but then we have to order it in, and you're just looking at losses. And as we've said, we're just 3 people at the minute. Like we
Yeah.
don't necessarily have the money to, like we could do it, but there's only so many times we could do it before we have no money to invest into it. So
And I was gonna say the current money that we're making and stuff is like definitely like goes straight back into it. Like whether that's on products or the content that we're doing. We've got a couple
yeah,
of ideas that we've got set up ready to go in the coming weeks. I don't know where I was going with that. But,
you're crazy.
No, that's completely understandable. Obviously, you have to make it attractive to. I mean, it's got to be attractive to you guys, obviously first, but to put it out there as well. Do you ever get worried or hesitant to what you're going to put out, in a sense of, do you always have them mind jitters of what if it don't pop, what if this don't sell well, what if this color sells but this color don't, etc.
But that's a learning thing that we've learned from the previous drops, and engaging with our the people that support us as well is really good. So we was asking, what color would you want? Like, we've got a selection of these colors. Like, do you want this, and this, and this, or like this? And with that, we're able to, as well at the same time, give people what they want, and we can kind of see like a general overview of what people would have and what people would buy. Because I feel like that's another like two different things, like what people like and then what people would buy as well. Because like I appreciate a lot of things. I wouldn't necessarily buy everything.
Yeah, I think that's just normal life, though. You can appreciate something, but you ain't got exactly go and buy it per se. With the Retro Devil, what was the meaning behind that? I know you mentioned earlier, you have your sentimental or your own reasoning to each drop you make. What was yours specifically behind that one?
Get your neck out, Sam.
Nah, yeah, well, I've got the numbers tattooed on my neck as well. It just adds up to 666 in short, and that's basically just referred to in Hebrew as number of the devil. So we just thought that was like I don't know. I just thought it was a cool like dark idea to mix with the bright colors. It's sort of like you have the bright colors with the dark meaning. So it's not like the most insanely deep thing.
Yeah,
yeah,
well, we're supposed to have the hand of God that came with it as well, but we was having a lot of problems with that one.
Yeah, so production problems on that, so we couldn't get that added to the collection. So, it was sort of like not necessarily like a dig, but it was sort of like, yeah, it was just had like dark themes, but sort of like putting the colorful on it to sort of demean it, I guess you could say. Like, so it's fun, but it's something like, yeah, I just have to keep saying dark because that's really what it is.
Yeah. To be fair, you probably picked out the one with the less meaning out of all of them.
that would be my look.
But there was still effort behind it. Like,
I think that's what I'm trying to
say.
I'm not saying that wasn't.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, also with that, we had a lot of like outside of the scene, like just people I knew and like my girlfriend's family members and stuff. Like, they took a general interest in the design because they thought it was so different to anything we'd made with the brand before.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so that was cool to see, like just sort of outside of what we know, interest coming into the brand. And it inspired the changes design a lot because we really looked at that point into, as I said earlier, more consumable clothing.
Mm-hmm. What would you guys say, in your opinion, was one, your favorite drop, and two, your best drop in terms of obviously selling?
Go on, Sam. You first.
I'd say my favorite drop would be the Retro Devil. I'd like to re-explore that again. Just adding on to the collection. Like, we want to do that with a few things, like our space designs and stuff like that. We want to go back to that and add embroidery and add different colors and stuff like that. Just, because we've got more experience now, and we don't want to make we don't want to make the people who bought that feel like we're sort of selling a better product to other people, because if we ever remake something or we're thanking our previous customers, we give them like discounts on our current stuff. Like, we try to give back as much as possible and not say like we try not to like downplay what they have. We try to let them know, like, we still can thank you for all the credibility you give us and all the support you give us. But yeah, I'd say Retro Devil in general is my favorite, but Changes and the one coming after are like, it's a next level. It's a change, like in a most literal sense, for Cosconia. Like, no cap.
Sure, man.
How about you, Jip?
My favorite was probably space.
Space.
Yeah, it was our first like proper step into more detailed designs, and it was where we took clothing more seriously, in my opinion.
Went from merch to apparel, I'd say.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite, and that's why I'm quite excited to get back to it and work on it and use what we've learned, and then add on to it, and put in, like I said, put in what we learned, whether that's colors or embroidery or different styles. And then the one that the same as with Sam, the one that's definitely done best for us was just recent changes.
Yeah.
Just because it was more out there. I haven't really seen anything like that. But it was still like consumable, so it was simple enough where people would understand it and be like, yeah, I could buy that.
I get it. Have you announced when your new drop is coming?
We wanted to leave it a couple of weeks just so changes could kind of get the most out of it.
Yeah.
Just because the way that we've seen with drops is the first 2-3 weeks is like where all the sales are, where all the interactions are.
Yeah.
And then we can start working on and then hyping up the next one. So it's just like continuous cycle, really.
Yeah, so instead of like a release every 3 months, we're releasing one main focus every month
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
Because we've got to be realistic with ourselves. Like we'll be honest, we're making good sales. We're not making 100 thieves amounts of sales. Like I'm sure everyone would have guessed that.
Yeah.
That's also something I think orgs could learn from is don't produce like just so much stuff because you will not sell it all.
Yeah.
Like
don't expect big numbers.
yeah, figure out like because I know a lot of people like to refer it to stuff like Off-White, like Gucci, Supreme, all the other brands that you can name that are big, but you've got to build up your credibility and also give, you've got to sort of like as we do take note of the fact that whoever's supporting you now deserves the absolute best because it's so nice of them to support you from such a young step in your like brand life. So definitely like be more reserved with how much you release. That's what we've learned. Like you release too much, you go for quality over quantity.
100%.
That's the good idea. Just make sure your quality is the best. Don't put out too much.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. I get it. For me, though, my question wrapped up. So before we wrap this up, is there anything that you guys want to say to obviously the stream or anything just in general that you guys want to say?
Sam's got me kidnapped. Please help.
Nah. No. Do you have anything you actually want to say, bro?
No. I'd appreciate if anybody doesn't know about Cosconia.
Obviously, plug
check
it
us
as well.
out.
Plug it.
Yeah. We're pretty fresh on the at, so it's at Cosconia on Twitter.
Twitter's just
there
been
you
put in
go.
there.
Yeah, easy
Thank you.
peasy. Check Sam out. Sam's probably one of the best graphics designers in AMC.
Please check out Cosconia. Joe, you need to scream this.
That's what I said.
No. You said it casually. Please. I need food. Please buy.
I've literally handled it. And then expect quite a bit of content soon. We're all staying in one house for a few weeks in the next couple of weeks. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll be making a ton of content. So
Awesome, man. I've just put your YouTube back in there as well. So, guys, obviously,
YT.
go follow the Cosconia Twitter. Obviously, Sam's individual Twitters as well. And of course, my link is the YouTube channel. So go subscribe to that. But for me, guys, obviously, thank you for coming on and taking the time out to talk to me and obviously to get your story and, your sort of version of sides out there as well for Cosconia. And obviously, keep it up as well because you guys are smashing it at the moment. Well, I've seen your reception's been great. So just keep it up, man.
thank you.
Appreciated.
So good, but of course, guys, for this week, that will be it for episode 7, crafting clothing within esports. Obviously, if you're just tuned in, you've come at a very bad time. But these are the guys from Cosconia, the designer and the owner. But from us this week, that's going to be it. Thank you, Socially, yet again, for powering this podcast. If you do scroll down, you can find the Twitch panels where you can find everything out about Cosconia, everything out about Socially, and the YouTube as well. And of course, the Pushing Media Twitter also. And I'm pretty sure we have an interesting guest coming next week, though. We've got a few guest lines up coming up now, so I'm pretty sure we're going to release that soon as well. But for now, guys, that's going to be it. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. Have a good night, and we will catch you all next time.